Hey, so this is again another episode of Mocha Wave Talks, and I am really excited to have a return guest, Ligia de Wit, and I think I said your name wrong. Ligia de Wit,
No,
right?
that's perfect. Perfectly fine. Yeah, Ligia.
Ligia.
My name is a bit hard, and I know it, but that's how it is. Everyone
Okay.
has a hard time the first time that they pronounce it. You're good. You're good.
I was so excited to have Ligia back because I was a beta reader for one of your latest books, and I
Thank
was
you.
so excited. I mean, there's like three books that I got this excited about in the whole time that I've read, books. So I just really wanted to help some way to introduce other readers to this book and get them excited also. Books,
Stop it.
no, that's one of those books that you just really feel like you want to hold it. Like when I read it, I'm like, I want to hold it. I want to read it to my mom. I want to.
No.
And so we're talking about 700 Beachfront. And what genre would you say? Because I'm going
Well,
to guess, but I want you to tell me.
the main genre is magical realism romance. So basically, that's how I advertise it, but it's much more than that. It really dwells a little bit into women's fiction because it
Mhm.
really follows the path of this young woman towards healing. But there's
Yes.
a crucial fantasy element. So for me, I it's magical realism at the end.
So like I just recently watched the movie Lake House with Keanu Reeves. I don't know if you have
Oh,
watched that movie.
maybe a long time ago. It's
It's
an
just
old movie, right?
it's not too long. It's kind of long, but it has that magic realism in it. So when I was reading your book, I'm like, oh, this kind of not the same. It's different, but it has that element of the magical realism because the two people are living in the same place, but at different times.
Yes,
It's an
now I
older
remember
movie.
that.
It's an older
Yeah,
movie, but
yeah.
I just loved that movie. So I was like, I'm not a big romance person, but somehow those type of stories draw me in. Like it's like, oh,
Bec-
go ahead.
I don't know. They just touched your soul in somehow. So I think that's one of the things that I love about writing because you can cover a lot of things that are not just focused on fantasy or sci-fi or romance. You can cover other things and make your characters a little bit more real, more relatable with their fears and situations. And that's one of the things that I love the most. So I think that's what happens. Oh, sorry. I think that's what's happening to you. Those kind of movies or books touch something in you, or in
Yes,
us, right? And
yes,
you
yes.
connect with it. I've seen movies that might be like, you know, silly movie, a simple movie that nobody cares about, and I just simply love it. I don't know
Yes.
why. To me, and this is a very simple movie. It's called Leap Year, and I love it. It
Oh,
doesn't
leap
make
year.
any
Oh,
sense.
yes,
Leap
yes,
year, yes, it
yes.
doesn't make any sense. That doesn't happen in real life, but I
Hmm.
love it. I don't know why. Just the setting, the silliness of the characters.
Yeah,
It just I
and I
like
think,
it.
and I like it that I feel like when I read your book, if it, like I said, I don't think she's going to go here, and she went there. It's like I was so glad that you did because you go places that are unexpected and yet satisfying, and it's kind of I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away, but like when I first met Bev, who is the protagonist, I was like, wow, she's real grumpy, right? She,
Yes,
she's,
yes.
and so I know that's
She's
what
not a people person
no,
at
and
all. Yeah.
but the thing is, we're all like, yeah, well, even even in my most extroverted moments, I still get exhausted around people when I'm around them a lot. So there's that relatableness moving to a new place, and she's been through a lot, as we'll find out. Um,
Now that
but
you mention, I think one of the things that it's I've been receiving now early readers reviews, and some of the I've seen that a lot. Like I was not expecting this type of story. Like they didn't know what they were getting into
well,
because
it's
it doesn't follow like a normal formula, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's like you have these doorways, and we're expecting this door to open, and there's this room inside it because we follow the
Mhm.
pattern, right? And so I'm like, oh yes, I know what's going to happen. I open the door, and there's something wonderful and beautiful on the other side of the door. That's the way I felt. Like I was uncovering, and it's getting deeper and
Yeah.
deeper, and it got more beautiful and more beautiful as I went. And like, so each kept, I'm like, oh, that's nice. So I loved that you did that.
Thank you, thank you. I think this is probably my most personal story. It's not a complicated plot. It's not complicated world building, but it's very emotional
Yeah.
and it has layers. I have one reader, and this made me laugh so much. She compared Beb to Gru in Despicable Me. And she made me laugh because it was like, yeah, a little bit, you know. She said, oh, this obnoxious young woman who's just Despicable Me, you know, in the first one, like Gru. And like, well, I love Gru. I love that movie. So I'm okay. I'm okay.
Like she's grumpy, but if she was anything different, it wouldn't make sense, right?
Yes, and I think, I mean, what we can say is basically this: it's this young woman who doesn't know how to face her issues. To her, it's too emotionally exhausting. She's like, if it's broken, why fix it? You know, just turn away and, you know, walk away. Just turn and walk away. That's her motto. Like,
Mhm.
why spend energy on this? Let's
That's
go.
true. Yeah,
You
she's always
know,
moving
so
on. Yeah.
she's doing that, and the story is about, it's not really about the romance. It's an important part of the story, but it's more about discovering who you're becoming, that this facing what you feared the most, what hurt you the most, and realizing why you decide to turn the other way,
Mhm.
and wanting to grow and say, I promised myself I was not going to be like this person who, you know, like her mother, right?
Mhm.
She has a narcissist mother. That's in the first chapter, so that's okay to
Okay.
say. And she decided, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do everything she hates. I'm going to do that.
Mhm.
And she realizes she's becoming her,
Yeah, she's
what she hated
self-destructing.
the most.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's you can say that is a healing journey. It's a healing journey. I pour much my fears and pain into this story. Of course, it's transmuted because she's not me,
Mhm.
and I think that's one of the beauty of writing, that you can, you know, place something that you want in that character, but that character is not you. That
Right.
character has to own it, has to
Mhm.
be her story. It's
Yeah.
not my story.
Yeah.
So so it was beautiful for me to be in the head of this person, and this character, Beverly Walker, how she takes that pain at first in the way of, you know, I don't want to talk to anyone. To me, I want to be the crazy girl living in that remote house and not needing to talk to anyone. But surprise, surprise, things don't go as one expects, right? Um, so yes, that I think that's one of the reasons why the early reviews that I'm getting is people are a bit surprised at what they're finding about the story, thinking, "Oh, this is a small town romance. This is a beach summer romance, or a, you know, low fantasy thing, and a cozy fantasy read." But if you check the layers, you start realizing there's more to that. There's the connection that she has with her little brother.
Oh
Uh,
yes, I love
yes,
that.
yeah. And I think one of the reasons, one of the things that to me it's quite endearing is that she's grumpy, he's grumpy, and there's another character who's even grumpier.
Yes.
So it's, how does that work? They don't like to talk to each other. She doesn't want to talk to him. He doesn't want to talk to her. And that entity is trying to kick her out because she's not at all happy that they're there. So how do you fix that? with a little beam of sunshine.
And then the people that were being too cheerful, I'm like, I don't trust that person. They're up to something.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And that's actually that's Beb's philosophy. Like, yeah, I don't trust this. This looks too good to be true. Things are never sunshine and magic, which is not how the saying goes, but that's how my character says it, right? It's
Yeah.
like and I really love she compares her life to Humpty Dumpty. She's like, every time I want something, just Humpty Dumpty on me, and it's destroyed. So I don't trust anything. I'm not going to open to anyone because it's gonna hurt.
So, so yeah, I like that. The other thing I wanted to talk about with your book is how you drew in, and I'm very what do you call it? Imagery, like the sensory. I really like being able to smell,
Hmm.
taste, all
Hmm.
here. And I love the way that you do that with the setting and with, everything in there. Like the food. Like I want to taste the food. Give me the food.
It's kind of funny because in one of my previous in my series, in my fantasy romance series, in book one, my editor, the first time that she read the manuscript, she's like, "Oh, they're always sitting down to eat. That's too much.
Oh,
You need to cut that."
give me the food. I want the food.
Yeah, I want the food. So I changed in that book. I changed some things, but in this book, it's part of the setting.
It
The food
is.
is very important. So it's actually one of the things that she learned to do by herself, and you see why in the book. And it's the kitchen is a very important part, and she works in there. That's where things start to happen. Emotions start to to open. So it's kind of weird because my tendency to write it's never to be in the same setting. I love moving. I have a little bit of bohemian or uh, non-sedentary nomad
Hmm.
wish, and I usually like moving scenarios. But in this case, the scenario is the house. The setting is how that's the most important part of the story,
Hmm.
or at least a, a vital part of the story. So they can't move. It has to be there. So I mean, of course, she moves. She goes to the town. She has to interact with people. Oh, the horror!
And the water. The water is important too. I love that.
Yes,
See, the
yes.
water. That's why I got the setting here. My ocean room. I love the ocean. And so,
Me too. I live next to the ocean. I first grew up like an hour and a half from the ocean. So we had this, well, not we, but my grandfather had a house on the beach. So I went there a lot of times when I was a kid. Then we moved to this place right next to the beach. So I will fall asleep listening to the waves crashing, and that's beautiful. It's something that
yes.
really suits me. So I love the ocean. And it's kind of funny because my fantasy romance series at the end, I mean, they're in a pirate ship, so yeah, they have the ocean, so the
Lots of
water is present. Yeah, water is present in this couple of
water.
stories, but in this part is the ocean and and yeah, I think that part what you mentioned about the sensory is so important because sometimes we forget, and I include myself because sometimes you kind of focus on the plot, focus on things, and but the setting is very important. Sometimes it plays a crucial part. I mean, sometimes not as important, but those those there are some things that triggers memories. There are some
Mm-hmm.
smells that trigger memory. Like to me, if I uh, smell the earth after it rains and it's a little bit warm, it reminds me of my youth because I grew up near to a rainforest in the south of Mexico. So it rained a lot, and that's the smell is like I'm a child again. So
Yes.
it's important, and sometimes we overlook it. But yes, I try to do that and and add it. So
I love it.
and
I love it too. And like you said, when you smell, like you describe the smell of the earth or whatever, or the rain or the water, and we were, as a readers, were like, oh yeah, because we don't think about it, but then we read it, we think, I know exactly what that smells like. I've sensed that before, or else I know what that would smell like if I was there. I like that when you do that, and like banana pancakes or whatever. Like you can smell that, right? I go like, I like banana bread. I like pancakes. I'm like, put them together. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And this is very exciting because this is not my first published book, but it's the first one that I self-published. uh, it was to me a big leap because I never saw myself as self-publishing. I always say, well, I need some help. It is very exciting um, to do this with this book because it means a lot to me in many ways. This was when I first when I started to write for the second time, after a long, long hiatus of not writing or not realizing that I really wanted to write. I wrote a lot of stories. I was like, I have all these stories stuck in my head, and I was like a dam. And then suddenly I was like, oh my God, I can write. I can figure out stories. And I started to write like, I don't know, 10 stories in a very short time frame. But they were all, they were not very good stories. I was just, experimenting. And 700 Beachfront was the first story that to me it was like, this story, I want to polish it. I want to do something with this story, especially because it was born out of frustration, sadness, disappointment, imposter syndrome, and resilience. I, I
And
was I I was just starting to write, as I told you, and I was sharing one of my stories, these early stories, with this group of writers that I was mentioning. It's a place that I was in for 8 years, but this was at the very start. So when you start writing, you might not have the skin very, very tough. You might
mm,
have very thin skin because you don't really know what the feedback is. You're not used
mm,
to it, especially when you are with your peers. It's not the same to have friends or family that, and I'm going to be a little honest here, they don't really count as to help you grow as a writer, unless
mm,
they're writers. But you need someone who has the same eye, that who
mm,
sees the structure, who sees the issues. So I was there, and I was torn apart because I had all the excitement, all the passion, but I didn't really know about a lot of things. I was just
mm,
learning. And this woman came, and she was tough. She was tougher than the normal people. And I felt it in my, like, she was ripping my soul. And most likely, if I go back and look at that, it was not as bad, but I felt it like that. And I was like, no, I'm not writing again. This is not for
mm.
me. You know, I don't know if you went through that phase
Yeah.
at some
Yes.
point.
Yes.
I think most of us have gone through that phase, especially at the beginning, right?
Mhm.
When you start facing your first feedback.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was not published. I was just, in this inner circle. So then and it was then when, after I say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I think, like, in the next 5 minutes, I picture Bev in the road, in a dirty road, and with her brother in tow. um, and she was just rounding a curve, and there were some trees, and then I saw this house that it was, you know, dilapidated. It was in tatters, and it seemed like the house was judging bad. And that's how the moment I had that picture, I say, I need to write this.
Yes. Yes.
After all feeling that I was, the worst writer in history, which probably I was at that moment, but I I poured my heart, and I finished that draft very quickly.
And I love that you said this is a book, it is a book about independence and resilience and healing. And so that this book, you're doing the self-publishing, you are healing, you are resilient, you are, independent. I love that you're doing that.
Yes, I'm actually very happy because, first of all, the cover was, and I hope you're going to share the cover, right? I don't have the book, but you're going to share the cover. I thought it was exactly as I wanted to.
Oh,
I just loved it because I wanted a yellow house in tatters in the cover. I was like, I wanted, but I didn't know if I could have it because you need to adhere at some at your genre, right? You
mhm,
need to have your cover according to genre expectations. So I began to read books in that genre and see what the covers look like. So when I sent it to the designer, I was like, okay, so we have these comps and but I want a yellow house. I couldn't
yes,
help it. I was like, I want a yellow house. And they gave me that. And I was like, okay, I just did a little bit of magical
mm,
element here because it
yeah,
was missing, it was
yeah,
missing. I don't know. I shared with you the
yeah. I
cover
think
before.
yeah, you gave me some like these are like four of them, and you let me tell you my feedback on them. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, thank you. And actually, I went for that option that you choose. Yes, because the other one was a little bit bright.
Yeah,
So
and it needs to have that little bit of that grumpy, a little bit of the
exactly.
magic, a little bit of something stirring, something a little bit. Yeah.
And I have another feedback from someone who is in the industry, and she knows a lot, and she said, "Okay, this is not telling me magical realism." I'm like, "Oh, I know what." So I added those green lightings effects, and I think
Mhm.
this is so perfect for this
Yeah.
story. And when they gave it back to me and said, "Yes, I'm sold," so
Yes.
I am very happy because it was something that I was able to create also. Well, no, I
Mhm.
didn't create it. It was the designer, of course,
But you
but
you you imagined it. You right,
yeah,
and you saw it come to be.
yes,
It's just like when
yes,
I see pictures of Betty, and I see that's what Betty looks like. Yes, yes.
yes, exactly, exactly. It's like, and you'll be very consistent because I see Betty. I say, oh, okay, so that's Betty.
Yeah.
That definitely that's
Once we
Betty.
figured out what Betty looked like, keep her this way, please. Let's keep her
Yes,
this way.
exactly, exactly. So that's what I wanted. So I'm very happy with that, and I am very happy right now with the early reviews that I've been receiving. It's really, there are some that have almost made me cry. It's very touching to be it was like I imagined. I remember at some point I talk about this story with in a narrative class,
Mm.
and I was just working on that, and I say, well, okay, tell me about your story, and they always went, why are you adding this magical element? It doesn't make any sense. You have a strong story without it. I'm like, I can't take that out. I can't think. I can't. Don't
No,
do that to me. So I didn't listen to them,
no,
of course.
yes, no. And the thing is that we all have a little bit of magic in us.
Mm,
And it just like some of us, it's kind of like it has to come out, and some people it needs to be drawn out of them. And I think your book, even the ones that are resistance, they're going to feel that tug. They're little,
I
there's a little
hope so.
magic. And it was when I was reading it, your character is so relatable. I found it healing for me. Like it was not just I'm reading a book and it's entertaining me, but it's changing me. And I
Thank you.
really like that. I love it when I read a book and I come away a different person. Not totally different person, but just like there's something different in me, right?
Mhm.
I have some piece of me that wasn't there before. So,
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So it was very, this is a milestone for me to be able to create this book, to launch it. I was very hesitant, to be honest, because it's a bit different from this style of books that I write.
mhm,
So I was not sure when I wanted to publish it. I was like, okay, maybe in a few years, maybe when I have more books like that, you
mm,
know. But at was one point, I say, you know what? I just want to do it. I just want to do it. I'm just going to publish it and see what happens, So I hope really that people who enjoy books where the character grows, where they
mm,
find themselves, where they face their fears, they go and pick this book because they're
yes,
gonna love it. I hope they're gonna love it. I think they're gonna enjoy it a lot, and they're gonna find it, refreshing, a bit different, and you're also going to smile because I don't like to have everything so serious, and it has like a lot of lighthearted
Yes, and
moments. So
there's like the climactic. What I felt was like a climactic moment. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's so
that you can.
it's lighthearted but emotional, and it's like taking that lightheartedness and the and it's just like put it all in one big exclamation point. And so it's like, yes. I did text you like when I read that. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that, and thank you so much. There is nothing better than to listen to people who are actually reading your book and send a message, and that's for everyone who's listening this. If you love something, set it free. No, I'm just okay. If you love something, if you love a book and you're excited about a book, let the author know. They will
Yes,
really, really appreciate it, especially when they're small authors. Um, they really appreciate that. We really appreciate that. So
yes,
please do.
yes.
Don't hold back, and don't think that, oh, this is going to be great. No, just reach out. Reach.
So yes, I'm so proud of you and that you did it,
Thank
and
you.
you know, and that you are doing this on your own despite the difficulties. And I'm just so impressed. So impressed.
Thank you.
So this is coming out late July.
July
So
22nd.
July
July
22nd.
22nd.
Okay.
You will find it on Amazon right now. I'm trying to find if I can do it somewhere else, but again, roadblocks. But right now
Yeah.
it's on Amazon, and it's going to be on Kindle Unlimited as well,
And Kindle
July
Unlimited. Okay.
22nd. So you can
Okay.
pre-order now. Actually, you can pre-order now. It's only $2.99, so go ahead and click that
Yes.
link.
That is great. Yes. Yes. Get it.
I'm on Facebook as Ligia de Wit, all together, Ligia de Wit author, also on Instagram. And you can also go to ligiadewit.com and you can sign to my newsletter if you want to
Yes.
keep in touch, because I try to
This,
share things. Actually, I
mhm.
want to share something about Bev in my next newsletter. So,
Yeah, her
and to
newsletter
have
is
art
very good.
opportunities.
Very
Thank you.
good. I definitely recommend that you do because it's a very good newsletter.
Thank you. I try to send once every month, except when it's release month. So I might send more this month. All right, we're already on July. Oh my
I
God, where
know,
has it gone?
right?
Yeah.
Right? But I definitely recommend everyone check out this book and follow Lichia and look for more of the great things that she's going to do in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank you so much for lending me this space to talk about 700 Beachfronts. And go and pre-order it. You're not going to regret it.
I definitely agree. And don't forget that everyone who reads has their own magic.
Yes, absolutely.